All right, we'll start out another little update today with this little gizmo here. This is a new thing that the respiratory people gave me. It is not officially supported by the CDC for treatment, blah, something, I don't know. But they say it helps with pneumonia type of things. All right, so this little gizmo is like some shaker deck thing. It's weird. This is a tool you blow in instead of suck in. But it does this really weird thing, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it or hopefully at least hear it. But I'll describe what it does after I show you here. So that's a really weird little thing, but it's kind of almost like a kazoo kind of thing. But it does this puffy back pressure down into your throat, into your lungs. And in theory, that's supposed to help kind of shake loose stuff in your lungs. So now, that is again not like a COVID protocol, CDC approved. Anyway, there's just like, but it works on all like other pneumonias, and sort of one of those COPD people and whatever, they use this type of thing for a treatment to kind of help like shake the lungs and release those tight airways. So that's why they're like worth a try. So here's the little gizmo, and go to work. So yeah, so now I got the sucker thing, I got the blower thing, and I'll give you some more information here in a little bit. All right, guys, looks like Kaczynski found me again. So I'm all mountain man or whatever. So we're gonna do what is it? Bad news, good news, right? How's that go? So bad news first. Bad news was that the doctor came in this morning. The actual doctor, monitoring the actual COVID disease, and she said, she's been watching my labs, right? All that blood they always take from me. You never know what happens to that stuff, right? I mean, they come in and take vitals. They do all this stuff all the time. You know what the numbers are. Hey, your blood pressure's this, your temperature's that. They pinprick for the glucose. This is your glucose level, all that. But your blood work, your blood labs, like even the blood tech people are like, I have no idea what your numbers are. Like that, we take it, we drop it in a machine, and those numbers disappear and off to the doctor. So I guess the thing about these labs, and again, I'm not the medical guy here. Like, I fix the trucks, I fix the heavy equipment, I fix the computers. I don't do the organic stuff. So, but basically all that blood has a bunch of stuff in it: indicators, markers, platelets, and proteins, and I don't know, some that type of stuff, right? And they're not necessarily COVID specific things, right? But like when your body's sick, apparently it does a bunch of weird things. The way your liver enzymes can do some stuff, your kidney enzymes, and white blood cells and all that. And so monitoring all of those values, all of that data, gives people an idea of where you're progressing with whatever disease, but COVID in this case, right? So anyway, the doctor came in and said, look, here's the deal. Your numbers have been going up, right? These indicators have been going up every single day since you've been here. I've been here 8 days. All right, my number's still going up now. So that's, you could say that's real bad news. The better part of that news was, but today, I think yesterday, maybe today, they started to see those indicators not go up nearly as much. And so the doctor's hopeful the next day or two, that means it'll be a peak or a plateau, right? So when those numbers start to go down finally is most likely when the lungs will start to clear. So that's the thing that has to happen. So now, they're like, these numbers though, with COVID, they can run away. Just because they start slowing down doesn't mean they won't speed back up, right? So there is that risk. There's a real risk. But now let's go to the good news part. The good news is that there's a whole lot of other indicators they watch for along with these things, the enzyme things, right? And those indicators are, how's your appetite? Are you having bowel movements? Are you able to get up? Do you feel totally out of breath? Do we have your O2 under control? Today they were actually very impressed that, even though my O2 is, a lot of help here, right? Even though I got a lot of help, my O2 doesn't drop nearly as much. It's staying mid-90s, okay? So, and then we'll talk about some positions and all that kind of stuff, bed position, sleep position, whatever. But in certain positions, I've seen those numbers all the way up 97, 98, 99. I mean, I've actually have a few times where it's, blipped 100, right? Which is really great for oxygen saturation. That's awesome news there. So the other thing is when the doctor was talking to me, she was like, well, the really good thing is you're talking to me, so I can see your numbers go down a little bit. Like you get a little winded when you talk. I talk a lot. People know me, I talk a lot, right? So that's nothing there. But as those numbers go down, then if I stop talking, they go back up real quick, right? So recovery is much better than it's been probably since I've been here. So there's those kind of mitigating factors that are kind of indicating things like I'm in a better spot. And even though there is a risk of those enzymes running away, this is pretty low risk, right? So anyway, so that's what we're looking for now. Now that I know, things I learned, they've just been sucking my blood for 7 or 8 days. I had no clue. She finally came in and did a great job kind of explaining to me what was going on there. So that's kind of, also sciencey guy. It sounds kind of cool. Not that I'm going to be a doctor ever, but you get where I'm going. So anyway, got to watch the next day or two. They're hopeful to start to see those indicator numbers in my blood work start to come down. And that will then hopefully be the point at which you can really start to work on purging this nonsense out of the lungs. So that is a pretty kind of long-winded, typical Meyer thing. Let me take a look here. So my oxygen is right at 90 right now because I've been talking for 5 minutes straight. And I don't actually feel winded. And I'm going to take a little break here. I'm going to take all of 2 minutes. My oxygen level is going to go right back up. All right, and if I remember one other thing, temperature is pretty kind of a good indicator too. And I haven't had what they would consider a significant fever for 5 or 6 days at this point, right? So came in, 102s, and I had some, pretty high 101s and that kind of thing. I did get Tylenol a day or two ago. I don't know, it was 100. I had a 100.4 or 100.2 or so. Out of abundance of caution, they threw some Tylenol at me. But I mean, I've hit, there's been several times. My temperature is actually pretty low sometimes. And they've come in and hit that temperature thing, and they're just waiting. And they're like, did you drink a whole bunch of cold water? Or what's going on here? I can't get a reading off you. And then it turns up, 97.2 or something like that. And they're like, that's pretty low. That's pretty good. So, and that's normal. For me, that's normal. 97, 97.8, 97.6. That's actually a pretty normal body temperature for me. It doesn't mean, I go upstairs and it goes to 98 or whatever. But anyway, so the temperature thing is also a pretty good, indicator that things are moving in the right direction. We just haven't got that blood enzyme stuff kind of helping us out. So, all right, now I'm going to show you what they did. I got them to do for this bed. I can't sleep on my stomach, but with these hospital beds, I was able to kind of finagle where I can grab a little nap. All right, so this definitely isn't going to show up well on camera, and I can't move very far because I got some bajillion hoses. But basically, this is a ramp. This is angled up, going up that way. So this bed isn't flat. I mean, it's flat, but it's higher up there at the head than it is down at the feet by almost 12 inches right now. And so I just lay on those pillows face down, and my oxygen levels go through the roof. This is when I get my 99s and 100s, whatever. I just lay up there, and it helps open up the lungs, help with the breathing, get that oxygen in there, start to loosen up this crap in the lungs. So anyway, so that's one of the other little, in atypical fashion, I'm going to go ahead and listen to medical professionals here and, do what they say to try to help open these airways. All right, like that's sort of the best view I'm going to be able to get you to kind of maybe illustrate that, but it's just a upward incline ramp of a bed. All right, and then I got last part of sort of anecdotal data to give you. When I get winded now, it doesn't happen nearly as fast. It doesn't feel so severe, and it certainly feels like I recover a lot faster. So, and I think that numbers can prove that part, but just in general, I feel like even though I'm low oxygen or whatever, it's not as bad as it was. Now that may just be because I got it controlled well. So, but last day or so, today, been pretty good, knock on wood, all day. So, and I'll tell you what, that bed setup, I can't sleep, like I said, I can't sleep on a stomach, whatever, haven't been sleeping very well here. Yeah, and I went ahead, had the nurse help me set that all up at 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever. I got an IV running on me. And I kind of was like, okay, I'll settle in here and just give this a little try. And I blinked, it was 11:15. So clearly like I said, blinked 11:30, and the oxygen level was 98 or something like that. So I was like, wow, that's pretty good. So anyway, so that'll be a little bonus update for the day. Like I said, not all good news, but not really low risk of bad news, right? So that's it.